the page setup notes. This is lesson 5. We're going to be dealing mainly with the page layout ribbon. The first thing on your ribbon is orientation. Now, orientation are your two different layouts, and the orientations are portrait and landscape. You know that portrait is taller than it is wide, and then landscape is wider than it is tall. This is your margins section. The margins are the amount of white space on the outside of your document on the edges. And the main ones, the default one is normal. As you can see here, your top, left, right, and bottom are 1. And then you have the different margins that you can choose. If one of the margins that you need is not up here, for example, you have narrow, moderate, wide, but if there's one that you need to custom make, you can click on custom margins and it will open up your custom margin dialog box so you can type your own numbers in there. Then you have the paper size. Now, paper size means that basically what it says. You can choose the size of paper, the kind of paper. You can choose whether you want legal, executive, any of those different ones, if it's going to be an envelope, but this will adjust the size that's going to be printing out, the size of paper that you also put in your printer. Breaks. Breaks allow you to, there are different kinds of breaks. We have page break. Now, page break means that once a page, an automatic page break, once the page is filled up with text, it automatically creates another page. A manual page break is one where you insert a page break, either by doing Control Enter. Now please take note that Control Return and Enter are the same thing. Or if you come up here to breaks on the ribbon and click page, and it puts in a page break. Either way, this creates a new page. Then you have column break. A column break is only used if you have columns, and it breaks the columns into different sections. We use a lot of section breaks. You have next page section break, which basically does what it does. It puts it on another page, but it is considered a section break and not a page break. You have continuous. We will use continuous several times. Continuous puts in a section break. It just creates another section within your document. You will see very little change. The main way you can see your change is to go to your status bar, down to the status bar, when you click on your different sections to see what section that you're in. If you turn on your hide, show, or formatting paragraph markers, it will also show you your different sections. And then you have your even and odd page sections, which basically does what it does. It inserts a new section on even numbered pages and then one on the odd number pages. This is just still talking about our section breaks here, the different types of section breaks: continuous, next page, even page, and odd page. Hyphenation means that it puts a hyphen in a document when you have a paragraph and your word is too big and it goes down to the next line. For example, if I was to take the word, went a little ballistic there. If I wanted to do automatic and I have the word the and it went down to the next line. Now, of course, please take in consideration there are going to be larger words than this. It would put a hyphen right in between them. This is what a hyphen looks like here. It sort of looks like a minus sign, but it would automatically put a hyphen when we go down to the next word. It keeps the word connected but knows that it doesn't fit on the line. You can choose none for no hyphenation. You can have an automatic where word will automatically hyphenate it, or you can have manual where you have to decide where you want the hyphen to be. Controlling pagination. Pagination is the way your page looks, and keeping like your side headings with the paragraph that's about your side headings. And you'll find a way to do pagination is in your paragraph dialog box and in your line and page break section. You'll notice you have pagination here, and you have widow and orphan control, keep with next, keep lines together. Keep with next allows you to keep multiple paragraphs on one page without page breaks. Keep with keep lines together will keep all of your lines together. And then widow and orphan. And widow is when you have the last line of a paragraph appears by itself at the bottom of a page, at the top of a page, and an orphan is when you have first line of a paragraph that appears at the bottom of the page. You always always want to make sure that when you have a paragraph and it goes to another page that you have at least 2 lines of the paragraph together, whether it's at the bottom of the page or the top of the page. Always have 2 lines together. They need to go in pairs. If not, then you either need to enter or insert a page break so that they'll stay together. You always want to make sure your headings are with the paragraphs that they are about. Line numbers, here's an example of line numbers here. Line numbers do what they say. They put numbers in there beside each line of text. So you have continuous, which is an example here, and then you could have restarted each page where each page starts the numbering. You could start it at each section. But again, line numbering does put numbers beside each line. Then you have columns. Now, columns of text means that you can have multiple 2, 3, 4 columns of text. They're just vertical blocks of text that flow from the top to the bottom. This is your command here, columns command. You can see on the commands you can choose 1, 2, 3, or left and right, and they give you an example of what they're going to look like. If you need more column choices, you click on more columns and it opens up your column dialog box. You still have your presets here. Those are the same presets that show up here. Now, if you need any more columns, you can, right here where it says number of columns, you can click on there. If you need to adjust your column width, then you can choose here. Right now, they would stay equal. This one, it doesn't show more right now because we only have 1 column. But if you click on there, then it will show you, it would have multiple columns. You can adjust the width. If you need different widths, you take this check away that's beside equal column width, and you can adjust it. The default spacing for your columns is 0.5, and that will mean that it's between the columns. If you look up here where it says 2, the preset for 2, the column spacing here would be 0.5. The default column is 1. That's why we have this 1 column here, and you would have to deselect from that. Apply to, you can choose apply to the whole document or apply from this point forward. You'll use that occasionally. And that's it for your page setup. If you need to review anything, just rewind and go back and watch this again.